Hey, my name is Brian, and I make all sorts of videos to help students, parents, and teachers kick some class with technology in 2021 and beyond. And today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about how to take a resource that you found online and turn it into an awesome educational session for you and your students, whether they're with you in person or remote. Let's go ahead and jump in. Okay guys, today I'm talking about a tool called InsertLearning, and it's where you can take any website and do just that, Insert Learning. Okay, so let's get you started with InsertLearning. First, you're gonna go to InsertLearning.com and you're gonna add this extension to your Chrome browser. All right, second, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the top of the screen where your extensions are, and you're gonna make sure that InsertLearning is pinned to your taskbar. Once InsertLearning is up there in the taskbar, you're going to go to your website of choice that has that learning that you want, and you're going to just simply click that little icon for the extension. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through an article that I used on Olympic clothing that was designed specifically for Olympians to deal with both the cold, but to also help them have a competitive edge in the cold, right? I'm going to open up this article, and you're going to see, first of all, that there are some tools on the left-hand side that you use to build your lesson or insert that learning that you want the kids to work on. But there's a couple caveats here, and that, number one, if you can find a version of the page by printing it or getting a print-ready version of the page that eliminates the pop-ups, the ads, you're going to be better off. So depending on the website you're on, there might be an option for you right on the page. So this one right here does. I click that print tab, and it's going to actually get rid of all that stuff for me. Now, if I go back up to the top, I'm just going to go ahead and click it, and now it loads it without all that extra stuff. So great little tip right there if you don't want those distractions for your students. So now you can see a couple of things. First, I can look at how my students have annotated this page with this link up top. I can assign it to students right here, or these are the tools I'm going to use to build my lesson. So as I scroll down, you'll see that I have a couple of highlights here. First is the word aerodynamics. Now, all I did was highlight it. I didn't do anything else. And the reason for that is I sometimes use words to key into students that this might be at the boundary of their current reading level. And so I'm training them to take notes, or at least to be aware of words they don't know, so they can build that vocabulary as they go, whether it's specific to my content area or just normal vocabulary as they develop as readers. So a great way to use that highlighter. Now, once you do highlight, the students have an idea, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to do that. And then you can have them click on the highlighter and then go down through and highlight words that maybe they are struggling with. And so great way to actually conference with students afterwards, giving them some unique feedback for each individual kid to help them grow in their vocabulary, or to have a classroom discussion right at the beginning when you come back from an assignment. Say, okay, give me the words that you struggled with and let's talk about how we're developing our vocabulary. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of there, and then you'll notice that there's another way to do this. If I click on this aerodynamics, and maybe there's a website that I want to add, this is a sticky note. So right here, you can see that there's a sticky note that pops up down below. I can paste anything I want, images, YouTube links, embed code. So if I had an assignment about aerodynamics and Edpuzzle, I could export it from Edpuzzle and put it in here. If I was using GimKit, I could build it in here. So InsertLearning could actually be a tool for you to take one document that you found online, an article, and use it as an anchor article to tie in all the other curriculum you want those kids to use. Similar to a hyperdoc or even a pear deck, where you're building things all connected with one assignment. You assign them one thing, but they branch out and they go out and they do research. They connect other learning, and then it's inserted. See what I did there? With this particular document. So that's what a sticky note does. You'll see a few of those as we go through. And then down below that you have questions. So right here, I inserted a question about hypothermia. I highlighted it first, and then as I went back through, I'm like, I want to ask and check and make sure that the kids understand what hypothermia is. So when I type here, all I did was put an open-ended question, but if I want to turn it into a multiple choice question, I can actually put those things right into this box and it'll turn it into a multiple choice question. Another great way to use a service like Kahoot or Quizlet, where you actually probably have these built and you export them out, copy them, and paste them in here. And now you can actually put those questions right in line in the text as the students go. I'll give you another little tip of something that might be worthwhile to do. Since I've clicked and put this in here, if I actually could paste into this sticky note a stop sign. Every time the kids get there, that's all I want them to do. I might put them on a timer, 5 minutes, get to the stop sign, and then we're going to have a talk. Might be a great way to break up something like this, have a conversation rather than getting all the way to the end. And your fast readers have been done and they're staring at the walls, and your slower readers are struggling. This way you put some checkpoints in there. You can use sticky notes to do that. All right, so then the next part is we go down, we have sticky notes and we have questions, but we also have these discussions. So I popped this discussion question in there. Why would Ralph Lauren be a good or bad company to include in this research or this engineering project? And we can actually have kids debate the idea of fashion versus utility. And so there's a balance here. The clothing they're designing for Olympians has to work. It has to be really low restrictive. It has to be comfortable. And maybe that's the conversation that I want to have. How engineering is met with a human desire for fashion, but also to be functional. And so maybe this is an interesting question that draws in those kids that are struggling to get it along with normal science. Now, hey, wait, I'm into fashion. So here's a great way to bring those kids in. Another thing is, what a way to bring up maybe some fashion fails and throw that in there just to add interest and fun to the conversation. Great way to do it with a discussion. Now below that, other options that I have when I'm all done, so obviously you're going to continue this throughout, to assign this to students, again, to share with other teachers. So for me, I have another colleague that's teaching the other half of the 7th graders in our district. I could share this with him and he can use it in his class, and then we can have those conversations together to keep our curriculum in alignment. You can edit the information, you can view it as a student to make sure it makes sense. You can print it out for those students that maybe don't have internet access, and so they actually can do this right along with your other students. And by sharing these lessons with other people, you can get some free months. So that's always in there. You can help and support or go to your dashboard. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and click on go to my dashboard. Now when I go to my dashboard, there's a couple other things with InsertLearning that are interesting. You can see that assignment right here. I can assign it to my LMS, and if I click on these 3 little tabs, I get some of those same options. But up at the top, I can look at grades if I've already completed the assignment. I can go to a public library to find things that other teachers have created that maybe is connected with what I just did, or right at the beginning before I even recreate the wheel, right? So then down here in resources, we have finding content, tools for embedding, those types of things. So it's just a great tool for you to use to take something that you find online, a normal article that might be current events, it might be right up your alley, and you just want to insert, wait for it, some learning for your students. So really great tool. Hey, so if you like this video, please like it, but share it with somebody that you work with or that you know that could benefit from this particular tool right here. But also please subscribe. It really helps me out in making these videos that help you kick some class in 2021 and beyond. Hey, so how are you going to insert some learning into your class using web resources? Drop that down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.